Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be storing some photo cards while also answering questions that I asked on my Instagram. So I have a good amount of cards to go through. I have all of these and I will try to answer the questions at the same time, but I get distracted really easily, so I'm hoping this works out. I haven't actually done a Q&A while storing cards, so this should be interesting. Before I start, I want to show I pulled Jin for the deco package, which was so amazing. Look at Jinny! I'm wishing him the quickest recovery. And I also pulled another member for the deco package because I bought two, but you will see him later on. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with a different binder before we get into storing. Some of the questions refer to cards in this binder, so I thought I would answer these first and then we'll get into like the actual storing portion. The first question is, what's the first card you collected? The first card I collected was JK Persona version 4. I pulled him and it basically just started the collection from there. My first card I ever traded was this card. I pulled Jimin and I traded for JK. So he was my first trade. And that's kind of how my JK collection started. Each member has like their first card. Jimin's was also a Persona card and Jin's was Answer version E, but I don't have that card anymore. What is your favorite card to just look at? That has two answers. The first is a new card that I haven't stored yet, but I will be, and it's this one. I look at this card daily. Little heart hand. It's just everything. But if we're talking about a card in here that I will always randomly just go to look at because I love him so much, is this card. Love this card so much. I think this one will always also be another one that I always look at just so I can look at the pretty holo. The next question is best deal, and I've actually gotten quite a few good deals, but I think one that really stands out is when the pandemic had just started, shipping from Korea to the US got really expensive, and I was in the middle of buying from a K-seller, and she was so lovely because even though she could have charged me for the much higher shipping price that was going now, she helped me out and just let me pay what I would have paid. But I had 4 cards, so it was this one, Jin and Jimin, and JK's Late 2. And the Late 2 is actually a first press, like 2013 press. It was such a great deal and she helped me tremendously with shipping. I wasn't overpaying for these cards at the time because album prices were still pretty low. It was like no more than 10 for each card. And even for the lenticular, it had damage, so she put it at a really low price. So I'd say that was one of the best deals that I got when I was a new collector. Hardest PC to find. For something that I have now, one of the hardest was this card. It took me almost 3 years. I'm pretty lucky with like the album stuff. Finding those aren't as difficult, but he was also quite difficult. But that was because I wasn't looking for him until the prices shot up. When did you decide to start your collection? I started my collection April 2019 for JK, and then it kind of just grew from there. It was just album collecting, and then I moved into merch when Fifth Muster and Speak Yourself came out. So Speak Yourself the Final was like one of my first merch sales. I do regret not getting Fifth Muster merch, but I was like around when it was out. I just didn't get anything because I didn't really know. Like I just wasn't really aware of like how to get it. Because at the time of Fifth Muster was when Weverse was just kicking in, and I was really confused what was going on trying to adapt to the new like Weverse stuff. And I think they were still like Weeply or Weply. I think it's Weeply. It was all kind of chaos, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I would say I started in 2019, but the collection didn't really start taking off until the beginning of 2020. which was unfortunate for me because I had just been starting to like get the hang of things and I just went crazy with spending. What is your dream PC? My dream PC is probably Jimin's Love Yourself in Europe Blu-ray. That is definitely my dream PC right now. Trying to keep my dreams somewhat attainable. I don't really, like, there's certain cards I would love to have, but I just realistically can't afford them. So until I can, you know, be a little bit more financially stable, I'm not really going to hope for other cards. So what I will be doing in the deco package setup is we are in my package area, but I'm not putting Jimin and JK in here. So here's my big stack of cards to put away, and we're going to be putting a double spread. Everyone act surprised. I wasn't even gonna do a double spread, but then I was trying to figure out how to make this look good with only 5 members, and this is kind of what my brain came up with, so we're just gonna get started. Let me answer another question. Besides BTS, who would you collect OT for? Well, if I could collect OT, I would definitely collect OT7 for BTS, because that's like a dream of mine, would be to collect OT7 for the sets I want to. I know realistically I would never be an OT7 collector for all album cards, just because I don't actually like all their album cards, and I don't love every set, so I wouldn't force myself to like collect every set. But I wish I could be able to just be like, yeah, I like this set, so I'm gonna collect OT7 for this set. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury to do that. But I guess, like, I'm getting into WJSN lately, like, and I started collecting Daewon for it, but I would love to be able to collect more than Daewon, so like maybe my top 3, maybe my top 2, like maybe top 4, I'm not really sure, but I would love to be able to collect WJSN more. So I feel like that would be my answer for non-BTS. I love this deco package. Like, the styling is great. I love that we got multiple photo shoots of it. I love Tae's makeup, like his blush, and the flower concept is definitely my favorite. What I decided to do for the bottom, since obviously there's no other members here, I just put Jimin and JK stickers. This is my double spread. I really like it. I really love how I lined these up and just kind of worked my way out. I really love these Polaroids. I'm so happy BTS got a deco package, because when I saw ENHYPEN have one, I was like, I really want BTS to have one, and then we did. So I really hope we get more things like this. I love having a lot of inclusions and having OT7 sets, so I'm really happy with this. Do you own any signed/rare items? I own 4 signed items, starting with this Jimin page from HOH Part 1. Before I get into the rest of my BTS things, the other signed item I have is actually non-BTS related. It was my first ever signed album. It is a signed VAV album. For BTS, I have 3 signed things. My other signed item I have shown on this channel before. It is my signed JK album, HOH Part 1, My Greatest Love. I love this so much. This is from M-Wave. The last signed item is definitely my most rare item in general. I was actually kind of nervous about showing it online. The person I bought it from put their ticket in with it so I could see, which I thought was really nice, and they definitely didn't have to do that. It is Jimin's Fan Meeting Volume 3 signed heart ball. I got it for such a great price. I honestly still can't believe I got it for the price I did. Yeah, hands down my most rare, probably my best deal for rare things. There were 2 questions that I got in this whole Q&A that I just really loved, and the first one was, what's a thing you bought for your collection that makes you the most nostalgic? So I have a lot of nostalgia when it comes to my collection. I find that I'm a very nostalgic person, and I like There's so many things that have memories that I'm thinking about and I just really love. One thing that I bought for nostalgia purposes, because I wasn't planning on buying this, was Jimin's Persona broadcast. Persona era just means so much to me. I'd already been in Army for a while. It was like my first big comeback with friends involved, and you know, it was just such a great era. Like if you were there, you probably remember, like Persona was just such a fun era. At least for me, I thought so, and other people I've talked to like talk really highly of Persona era. For this binder, we have quite a bit to store away. We have all of this. So my other favorite question is, what is your favorite Golden Closet film made by JK? If you look at my channel name, obviously I have GCF in there, completely because of JK. Like, I'm so in love with his GCFs. Every single one of them, which is the whole reason why I decided to make my channel name gcfsnight, is because of his GCFs. They just mean so much to me. When it comes to favorites with his GCFs, I really think about each one individually. GCF in Tokyo, obviously being the first one, was just such a big deal. That was our first time seeing JK just being completely in control. He filmed it all, he edited it all, he did that by himself, and I feel like that was such a big moment for him towards that independency of being an editor and being a filmmaker. So GCF in Tokyo, always going to be a top favorite. I think GCF in Osaka is actually my favorite. I just love the vibes of GCF in Osaka. I love the song. I love the giggliness of it, and putting the real audio in when he like takes out the music and you just hear like the real audio of them. It just makes me so happy to hear like their giggles and their dancing. Like, it's just a great overall fun video. I love his 3J one because of the editing style. I think it's so well done. I know I'm supposed to be storing, but I just had to rant about GCF. First, I have actually the mic PCs. These are everything to me. They're just so pretty. I can't wait to actually detach them. This one from Map the Soul 1 and Kitty Gang Jimin. Had to, of course. But they don't fit in 9 pockets, so that is the only downside. I do have the Merchbox PCs, and these I thought were 8 pocket, and they're actually 9 pocket, so go me, because I really thought they were 8 pocket, and I was like, oh, I don't need to collect more than one because I'll just put them in an 8 pocket. But no, they are in fact 9 pocket sized, and now I want more. I don't know if I will get more, but if I do, I have 2 slots, so I'll get like 1 more for each. I'm not gonna get all 3. But I do have these cuties, so that's really nice. And I do have the Hybe Insight. Another question is about the 6th muster and if I'm excited for the DVD and what I think the PCs will look like. So for PCs, I've actually been thinking about this quite a bit. I'm not terribly attached to the looks of the boys in 6th muster. I think JK hands down was my favorite styling. Like, we had a whole crop top moment and I was not prepared for that, like, at all. And to see his tattoos more exposed, I was like, whoa, this is it. Like, I'm not gonna make it through this concert. So I think JK, I'm definitely like excited for his PC just to see what we're gonna get. But I wasn't like terribly attached to the other members' styling. I think everyone would lose their mind if we got like Dechita Tae as a photo card. I think that would be really funny to see if we get that. For the deco package, really quickly, I'm doing the double-sided PCs here, and then I'm doing the Polaroids on their own page. This is hands down one of my new favorite JK cards. Like, I'm so happy to have this. I just love it so much. So beautiful, that purple hair. And the reason I did it this way is obviously the double-sided PCs, double-sided, and then I'm putting this concept first because it's like a bridge, so it's like the same concept, and then it will go into the next concept, which will follow onto the other page. I think that was all the questions. There were some I skipped because I answered them in my last Q&A. I didn't want to answer the same thing too much. So I hope I answered everything. I know I probably should have answered the GCF one while I was storing these, but I got way too into that. Here is the other member I pulled, Mr. Jimin. So cute. I really love this PC. Love this hair on him. JK though, where are you? Please come home. Pulling Jin though, I almost cried because, like, yeah, my best boys. I love them. I love Jin so much. It really breaks my heart when I have to trade him away, but that's just the way collecting is these days. I really can't keep everything I want to keep. The collecting community has really changed a lot, and some of it is good and some of it is not so good. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!